are choosing to put people at risk by reducing reasonable protections.
That's the message shared by those gathering in downtown Calgary and at the legislature in Edmonton on Saturday. Hundreds calling on Alberta's government to reverse its decision to change the rules around COVID-19.
Starting on August 16th, we will no longer recommend that all those with mild symptoms seek testing. Isolation will no longer be universally, legally required if you test positive for COVID-19.
For Natasha Brubaker, whose child is considered high risk for the virus, these decisions hit close to home.
Our children are, by definition, vulnerable. They have no option to protect themselves beyond these health measures and the decisions made by the adults they are counting on to care for them.
Dr. Joe Vipond, an emergency room physician, is going further, saying the rolling back of restrictions goes against Canadians' right to life, liberty, and security.
I call on the Attorney General of Canada to reach out to our Premier and say that you are not allowed to violate the charter rights of 4.5 million Albertans.
In response to the pushback, Alberta's health minister pointed to the rise in those vaccinated, even though Alberta is below the national rate in both first and second doses.
We're trying to do it in a thoughtful way, in a staged approach based on really important metrics and milestones that were developed that are based on the science and based on the data.
For Dr. Joe Vipond, that response is not enough, and he's calling on Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health to resign.
It's quite evident now that public health is not actually putting in policies to protect the health of the public. I think this is a travesty, and I think she should resign.
For those like Natasha Brubaker, they just want to see the province at least maintain the status quo when it comes to testing, tracing, and isolation.
I'm not suggesting a lockdown or reducing store capacity or closing restaurants. I am asking for reasonable steps to be taken to protect them and to prevent illness, deaths, and possibly having to close our schools again.
Michael King, Global News, Calgary.